George Orwell wisely said, at 50, everyone has the face he deserves. Taylor Lorenz seems to be an exception to that rule.
Get what I did there? I suggested Taylor Lorenz is 50.
Viva Frei, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler. It's Sunday, so this is your pre-Viva and Barnes Law for the People Sunday night extravaganza. Doing a vlog on something mildly humorous today, but not funny whatsoever. I don't know who said it first, but someone also wisely said, you think you hate journalists, but you don't hate journalists enough. Taylor Lorenz proving why this is true, but it allows me to open the door also to Don Lemon, also proving why this is true. Don Lemon just put out a video on his X feed. It's the most glorious backfire you can possibly imagine. He's in Atlantic City. He's asking people on the street who they're supporting, and the majority of them say that they are supporting Trump, or at least hoping that Donald Trump wins in the 2024 election. But he asks one guy, do you think you're better off now than you were 4 years ago? And the guy says, no, I was making a lot more money 4 years ago. To which Don Lemon says, actually, that's wrong. The charts say that that's wrong. Can you imagine the arrogant pomposity it takes for a journalist to argue with a man about their own life experience? I think the guy knows if he was making more 4 years ago, and I think he knows better than you, Don Lemon, despite your propaganda charts. Oh my goodness, it's actually funny. The guy asks, what do you watch CNN? And something tells me that Don Lemon, after his unceremonious firing from CNN, doesn't watch CNN. That's actually not true. He did an interview on CNN recently, didn't he?
4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now.
I know you feel that way, but that's not actually what the record shows. The economy is actually better under Biden. No, I'm serious. That's what the facts show.
Okay, you know what?
No, that's not because I watch CNN.
So with that preamble, yeah, you think you hate journalists and you don't hate journalists enough. Taylor Lorenz is back in the news, and I think she's actually going to successfully get canceled this time, but not canceled as a result of anything anybody else did. Canceled as a result of what she herself did to herself. It's glorious. You hate to watch bad things happen to bad people, but there's a part of you that says bad things happen to bad people because they put bad juju out in the universe. Now, for those of you who may not know who Taylor Lorenz is, she's a scumbag. Simply put, a scumbag. She was the one responsible for the doxing, or at least the amplification of the doxing of libs of TikTok. And if you go back to the media back in the day, they actually found a way to rationalize the doxing of libs of TikTok. From NBC or whatever that crap hole is, the Peacock station, there's a proper term for what happened to the libs of TikTok creators. It isn't doxing. The correct word is, quote, accountability, end quote. And someone targeting others in a hateful way while covering behind a screen shouldn't be allowed to avoid it. Doxing for me, accountability for thee, what a load of crap. Oh, and by the way, NBC News, they originally entitled that article, why the, quote, doxing, end quote, of libs of TikTok creator is justified. It would seem that they then attenuated that headline a little bit, probably after the fact when they posted it online and maybe got some backlash to the fact that, yeah, it's never justified to dox anybody, even if you don't like what they do. And you're wrong, by the way, that libs of TikTok puts other people on blast. She only amplified what other people put on the internet willingly, presumably for the entire world to see. So she sort of helped people achieve that goal. Set that aside, moving along, NBC scum. And for those of you who may not know, Taylor Lorenz played a pivotal role not only in the doxing of libs of TikTok, but in the harassment of her family showing up at their doors to ask them questions. Taylor Lorenz did this. You'll appreciate the irony in a second.
You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry. It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
So Taylor Lorenz put out a post on Instagram, or at least something that she shared only with her close friends, which made its way into the hands of a journalist who put it on blast. And now Taylor Lorenz, I think, will get canceled over this. But she put out a picture of her wearing a face mask, 2024, wearing a face mask. That's fine. It's her decision. She's living in trauma. She's a broken person, and I actually feel bad for her. But bottom line, she's wearing a face mask, taking a picture of herself, a selfie with Joe Biden in the background, and the caption, war criminal, unhappy face. Now, somehow this post, which she only shared with close friends, which means that Taylor Lorenz has no friends whatsoever, made its way into the hands of a journalist known as John Levine, who posted it to Twitter, and that, I think, blew this story wide open. John Levine, Taylor Lorenz of the Washington Post calls President Biden a, quote, war criminal, end quote. And those eyeballs, which I don't know what they mean. John Levine on Twitter, @LevineJonathan. It's a pity the rules don't allow me to be merciful. I have no idea what that means. And what do lying scumbags do when they get caught lying and being scumbags? They lie about it. Taylor Lorenz originally, in her original denial, which was a lie, suggested that the post was altered, that, you all fall for such edits, you dumbasses. Something along those lines. I'll read from the article. After the New York Post's John Levine, a frequent critic of hers, revealed the Instagram photo caption yesterday in a tweet, Lorenz wrote back at him, quote, "You people will fall for any dumbass edit someone makes, end quote. What a freaking liar. It's not just that she's a freaking liar, it's that she thinks everyone around her is an idiot. It would have done Taylor Lorenz some good to watch that Church of Latter-day Saints commercial from back in the 80s about lying. When you tell one lie, it leads to another. When you tell two lies to cover for another, then you tell three lies. Oh, brother, you're in deep.
How can I go to that movie? I know. I'll say I've got to go to Jim's to finish your science project. That's a good lie.
When you tell one lie, it leads to another. When you tell two lies to cover each other, then you tell three lies. Oh, brother, you're in trouble up to your ears.
She lies assuming everyone around her is as stupid as she is, and then it comes out that it's in fact not an edit. Nobody's falling for any edit. Nobody's a dumbass here except for Taylor Lorenz, who's lying about something that's clear as day. She then has to come out afterwards and say, it was clearly a joke that you took for real after I said it was an edit that you dumbasses fell for. And it's not just that, but as a result of her edit, the post from John Levine actually got community noted on Twitter because of her self-serving lie that it was an edit that you dumbasses fell for. A fact check appended to Levine's tweet cited her apparent denial. The contextual note to the tweet says, quote, Taylor Lorenz says this is a digital manipulation which has added a false caption, end quote. Lorenz told her editors that someone else had added the caption of the photo. NPR has obtained a screen grab of Lorenz's actual post which contained the caption. It was not shared with her wider Instagram audience of 143,000 followers. 4 people with direct knowledge of the private Instagram story confirmed its authenticity to NPR. They spoke to NPR on condition they not be identified due to the professional sensitivity of the situation for Lorenz. Yeah, something tells me that Taylor Lorenz knows who they are, that the Washington Post knows who they are. Oh my goodness. These are a bunch of scoundrels. What tangled webs we weave when at first we try to deceive. I think that's the expression, but you know what I mean. And yesterday, as at the time of shooting this vlog, Fox News, putting this all on blast for the entire world to know if they didn't already know it, Taylor Lorenz is a bad. She's a very bad person, period, full stop. Washington Post Taylor Lorenz says Biden war criminal post was obvious meme after claiming it was edited. On Friday, Lorenz not only admitted it was real, she insisted it was a joke. Quote, I literally never denied it was real, end quote. Lorenzo told one critic on X. She told another that it was an obvious meme. After suggesting it was an edit that us dumbasses fell for, she then admits it was real, but that it was an obvious joke, as if those two explanations are not mutually incompatible. It doesn't matter. Taylor Lorenz is in fact going to get canceled by this, but not by the mob, not by the woke left, and not by a vengeful right, although a vengeful right I would actually qualify as just people interested in justice. She's going to get canceled by the Washington Post because you don't call Biden a war criminal. You don't lie about it. You don't attack the regime and alienate a ton of your readers and your viewers. Taylor Lorenz, I think, is going to be done in the journalism industry after this, and I don't relish in it. This is not a bunch of schadenfreude. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sometimes good things happen to bad people, and sometimes bad things happen to bad people, which people just call karma. Welcome to karma, Taylor Lorenz.
Karma's a bitch.
Anyhow, that is your lighthearted vlog of the day. Be sure to watch tonight, 6 o'clock every Sunday, Viva and Barnes Law for the People. It's an amazing law-themed show, politics, yada. You'll love it. Trust me, you'll love it. Make sure that you are subscribed and that you have notifications turned on so that you know when I put out a video. Drop a comment. Share my video with someone who you think might like it, but share it with someone who you think won't like it. So share this one with Taylor Lorenz. More important than anything, get outside, exercise, eat healthy sunlight, talk to people in real life. And now you know you've loved it. Peace out, peeps. Booyah!
I've had to remove every single social tie. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying.